So let's start for the interview question and answers for SOC Analyst job, Security Operations Center. What is SOC and why? What is the primary role of SOC in organization? A SOC or a Security Operations Center is a centralized team responsible for monitoring and responding to the security threats and incident in the organization. Can you explain the difference between IDS and IPS? IDS is intrusion detection system, detects and logs suspicious activities, while IPS intrusion prevention system not only detects but also actively blocks or mitigates the threat. What is SIM and why it is essential in a SOC? SIM, Security Information and Event Management, is a system that collects, correlates, and analyzes security data. It's crucial for detecting and responding to the security incident in real time. What is the difference between false positive and false negative in a security alert? A false positive is a security alert that is incorrectly flagged as a threat, while false negative is a genuine threat that goes undetected. How does threat intelligence contribute to the SOC operation? Threat intelligence provides insight into current threats and tactics used by the cyber criminals, helping the SOC proactively defend against the potential attacks. What is firewall and how does it protects a network? A firewall is a network device, security device that filters incoming and outgoing traffic based on a set of predefined rules. It's called as ACL to block unauthorized access and threats. Describe the difference between stateful and stateless firewall. A stateful firewall keeps the track of the state of active connections, while the stateless firewalls filter packets based on solely on source and destination information. What is DMZ and why it is important in the network security architecture? A DMZ, demilitarized zone, is a network segment that acts as a buffer between an organization's internal network and the internet contain publicly accessible servers to enhance security. What is VLAN segmentation and why it is useful in network security? VLAN segmentation divides a network into smaller, isolated segments to control and limit access, reducing the attack surface and enhancing security. Explain the concept of network access control. It's NAC. Network access control enforces security policies by ensuring that only authorized device and users can access the network. Incident response. Can you outline the steps of the incident response process? The incident response typically includes preparation, identification, containment, eradication, and recovery, and the lesson learned by the attack. How do you prioritize security incidents in a SOC? Incidents are prioritized based on factors like impact, severity, and the potential for the data loss or system compromise. What is the difference between an incident and event in cybersecurity? An event is any observed occurrence, while an incident is an event that represents a security threat or a breach. Describe the importance of chain of custody in digital forensic during the incident response. A chain of custody ensures that digital evidence is properly documented, preserved, and controlled to maintain its integrity for the legal purpose. How do you handle data breach involving personally identifiable information (PII)? A breach involving PII should be reported to the regulatory authorities affected individual and the incident should be thoroughly investigated and mitigated. What is threat hunting? Why it is essential in a SOC? Threat hunting is a proactive approach to the search for the hidden threats and vulnerabilities that may not be detected by automated security systems. What are the tools techniques do you use for threat hunting? Threat hunting may involve using advanced analytics, threat intelligence, manual investigation to identify, mitigate threats. How do you differentiate between a false positive and a genuine threat hunting during threat hunting? A SOC analyst uses their expertise, context, and additional investigation to determine whether an alert is a false positive or a real threat. Can you explain the concept of indicator of compromise in threat hunting? Indicator of compromise (IOC) are the pieces of evidence that suggest a system has been compromised. They include file access, IP address, and a pattern of behavior of an attacker. What steps do you take after identifying potential threat during the threat hunting? After identifying a potential threat, you would analyze it further, containing it if it necessary, and then follow the incident response process to mitigate and remediate. What is the purpose of intrusion detection system? IDS. An IDS is designed to monitor the network or system activity for the signs of malicious behavior or policy violations and generate an alert. How does full disk encryption contribute to data security? Full disk encryption ensures that all data storage on the storage device is encrypted, making inaccessible to the unauthorized users if the device is lost or stolen. Can you name some popular SIM solutions that and what distinguish them from one another? Example includes Splunk, IBM QRadar, Elastic SIM, even Logarithm, Exabeam. Each has its own features, capability, and integration. Explain the role of honeypots in network security. Honeypots are a decoy system designed to attract and divert an attacker, allowing the organization to study their tactics and gather threats intelligence. What is the purpose of vulnerability scanner and how does it work? Vulnerability scanner is identifies a security weakness in the system or network by scanning for the known vulnerabilities and misconfigurations. What is the difference between security policies and security standards? Security policies provide high-level guidance, while security standards offer specific details requirement for implementing security controls. How do you ensure compliance with the industry regulation like GDPR or HIPAA? In SOC, compliance is ensured by the implementing the necessary security control like audits and documentation process to meet the specific requirement of each regulation. What is the purpose of risk assessment in cybersecurity and how does conducted? A risk assessment identifies, analyzes, and prioritizes the potential risk of an organization, information assets, helping to make informed security decision. Explain the principle of least privilege (POLP) and its important in access control. POLP, principle of least privilege, restricts users or system access rights to only what is necessary to perform their task, reducing the risk of unauthorized access. How does user awareness training contribute to the organization security posture? User awareness training educates the employees about the security best practice, reducing likelihood of falling victim to the social engineering attacks. What is DDoS attack? How can a SOC mitigate its impact? A distributed denial of service (DDoS) attack overwhelms a target with traffic. Mitigation involves in traffic filtering and load balancing. Explain the term zero-day vulnerability and how it poses threat to organization. A zero-day vulnerability is a security flaw that is unknown to the vendor and has no available patches. It poses high risk as attacker can exploit it before it's discovered. How does social engineering work and what is the measures can be taken to prevent it? A social engineering manipulates individual into revealing confidential information or performing action. Prevention includes user training and awareness. Different types of malware and their potential impact on organization. Malware includes virus, worm, Trojan, and ransomware. They can lead to data loss, system disruption, or unauthorized access. What is man-in-middle attack, MITM attack, and how it can be detected and prevented? Man-in-middle attack intercepts the communication between the two parties. Detection involves in monitoring for unusual network activity, and prevention includes using encryption so that we use HTTPS. How do you stay updated with the latest cybersecurity threats and trends? Staying updated involves continuous learning, reading industry blogs, attending conference, and participating in relevant online communities. Can you explain the concept of least privilege access and its implementation in user account? Least privilege access ensures that the user have a minimum level of access required to perform their job task, reducing the risk of unauthorized access. What is the role of log analysis in SOC and which log are typically monitored? Log analysis helps in identifying security incidents. SOC analysts typically monitor logs from firewall servers and network devices and applications. How do you handle incident that occurred outside regular working hours during holidays? SOC analyst often works in shift to ensure 24 by 7
coverage, and they follow established on-call procedures for